glad I am that I got to take a vacation and had PTO even, which is rare. In Arkansas, everyone actually does say y'all. They have really thick southern accents over there. Place is chill, it's more mellow, it's less traffic. Those hot springs, I'm convinced that it was because of the hot springs and that mineral water was the primary reason I had that alien dream. I do believe these springs are portals. Remember years back when I made videos talking about the fall of the Crystal Garden and how there are these light prisms that were all over the world that were fused together, and these prisms elevated consciousness, and they were destroyed or inverted, but the remnants of those crystals still remain in some places. And I believe Hot Springs, Arkansas is one of the places where it remains. There's a lot of strange phenomenon in that state. There's mysterious lights, unexplained lights that people see. There's a form of Bigfoot and all kinds of other creatures, more so than a lot of other places. So, it might be last vacation based on how things are going. Well, there's no vacation for people in Lebanon. 600,000 displaced, taken out of their homes with the expansionism, and not only were they taken out of their homes due to an invasion by a certain country, but they were informed that their homes will be destroyed. So essentially, you're going to have 600,000 homeless people in that country. Doesn't include all the others that were displaced in Iran as well. Vera, he made a really great point earlier today. He said that we're focused on the Middle East, but Darfur and South Sudan, there's been a brutal civil war ongoing for years. And these things, like especially these conflicts in Congo and Africa, they're forgotten. How much you guys want to bet that you didn't know that the conflict with the largest death toll since World War II was in the Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo, with 5 million sacrifices made. The thing is, though, this isn't just your ordinary sacrifice. What's going on right now? I believe, energetically speaking, that this is part of the birthing ritual, which is why I believe that the U.S. and the magician, the MAGA Trumpozoid, is actually deliberately keeping it closed on purpose, because it is a representation of birth pains. The waterway is blocked. The semen cannot go in because it is in labor. I have absolutely no doubt that the U.S., even though with its perpetual military failures from Vietnam to Korea over the years, I have no doubt that we would be able to open it. But it doesn't look like they're even trying. Instead, magician Trumpazoid, you know, the guy who played with the Lesser Keys of Solomon in my dream. And I have a theory on why he was doing that. I was reflecting back on that dream, though. You remember that dream, guys? When I saw him in some kind of cosmic vacuum and there was imagery to the right and left of us. And we were on some kind of boat on the river. And he took out some contraption that was depicting the Keys of Solomon, and I didn't even know that was the Keys of Solomon at that time because I didn't know what the keys looked like. But then, on accident, a video on my TikTok feed appeared that showed exactly what I saw about a week later. So instead of trying to open the Strait of Hormuz, instead of that, where the decision has been made to just openly commit war crimes and take out civilian infrastructure. And I'm not trying to say Iran are angels. They targeted civilians as well. This whole thing is just a monumental, stupendous catastrophe. But to overtly say that you're going to take out a country's power grid, this is the magician doing his work. Right? We know Trump on a surface level looks like an absolute buffoon, lacking in any sort of intelligence. And when I look at him, especially lately, he's changed over the past few weeks a lot. You look at him and you look at his eyes, and it looks like a black hole. That's kind of what I saw him in that dream. It was this massive tunnel-like structure of expansive infinity. And it's just this big glob of emptiness, and that's what I see. I see a big glob of emptiness when I look at him. Trying to see if more people will come on. Doesn't look like anybody will. That's all right. So yeah, the magician is doing his magical work by subliminally implanting into the minds of people the idea of power grids. Power grids. It doesn't have to be talking about a particular country. That doesn't even matter. As long as he's saying those words, taking them and putting them back into the Stone Age, it's a subliminal reference to what I believe and what the animation shows us as to be something wrong with our own power grid, or perhaps not just here, Europe, all over. And from what I'm seeing, the things that are going on already with the fuel shortages, there's people in some countries that are raiding fuel trucks, going into warehouses, stealing oil, people killing each other over gas, and fist fights. And this is really bad in some places. This is really bad. And we see it represented in the animation with the oil dripping to a trickle. Right? Isn't that what we see? And you know what, guys? Years ago, I had mentioned that the 12 figures of this animation, Petco 2, at first I thought it looked like a map of the US looking from a different angle. So I thought maybe it was looking at the US facing south, and this would be like Texas or something of that nature. And we've known for years that this is an outline of the blue and white country right here. That's pretty clear and obvious to me. But this outline also looks like Iran from a southern facing trajectory because you have this angle protruding more, and this Iran has like this kind of diagonal shape, and that's what it resembles to me, this diagonal shape. So why do we think the Trumpazoid? I mean, yes, dementia, Alzheimer's, all of that is a possibility, but I am based on what I'm seeing, I think this scene with the snake in the brain is what's happening to him. And what's happening to him? He's under a reptilian hypnosis. So what is controlling his mind? He's no longer in control of his mind. He's completely a zombie to these forces. And on top of that, hijacking of the mind, he's probably most likely also been compromised by the blue and white country through some kind of imagery they might have, or photos or situations, and he's probably terrified of that. So that's why there's absolutely no rationale, there's no logic in anything that's happening. It's complete and total chaos, and it seems like it's very deliberate chaos. See, he's talking. See, the point of this scene is that he's talking through the boy. So it's not the boy's voice anymore, it's the reptilian's voice, right? So, you know what I've always been curious about? This scene, guys, always kind of got to me, and I didn't really understand it because the markets here are not plunging. The US dollar is, but the markets themselves are just like static. You see, they're only down marginally, which they were today. So I think obviously these numbers do mean something, but what they mean, like 0.65, like, so it doesn't seem like we've reached this point yet with the plunge in the dollar. I suspect that that's going to occur when the dollar is dropped from the world reserve currency. And there's already evidence of that taking place with ships going to pass the Strait of Hormuz paying in yuan. So Iran was requesting that they get told essentially to be paid in yuan. And people are also dumping treasuries, U.S. treasuries, all around the world. It's awful. And what I think, Mr. MAGA here, with the Keys of Solomon, I think that all these creatures throughout the millennia who have exuded enormous amount of power over the human race, they have some kind of ability to pin their karma, and I hate using the word karma, I just don't know what else to use, but pin their negative consequences onto the greater population. So deflecting his own energetic connection to situations he may have created, and he pins it upon the general public, and it's always the civilians who suffer most in war. It's the powers that be that don't. Do you guys think that something's going to happen to Trumpazoid if there's a grid down scenario over here? Of course not. He's going to be perfectly fine playing golf and drinking champagne, and the rest of them the same story. But yeah, guys, I've noticed over the weeks that his mannerisms, his appearance has changed drastically. Even his hair, like, there is something strange going on. I want to show you guys part of his speech yesterday. It's incredibly bizarre. You know, taking Iran back to the Stone Ages. Also, quite possibly a subliminal message. What would a downgrid scenario do? Take everything back to the Stone Ages. That's exactly what it would do. And it's quite terrifying that say even if it doesn't happen here, I'm genuinely terrified for Iran. I'm like they're already suffering enough, and it's just I am so damn tired of this reality. I just the Earth School, just perpetual incomprehensible horror. The Earth School. What a great place to learn, isn't it? Yeah, but just look at his mannerisms yourself, guys. You don't have to take my word for it. Just watch a little bit of this.
Progress we've made, I can say tonight that we are on track to complete all of America's military objectives shortly, very shortly. We're going to hit them extremely hard over the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to bring them back to the Stone Ages where they belong. In the meantime, discussions are ongoing. Regime change was not our goal. We never said.
Just in those few seconds alone, he's lying and contradicting himself. Regime change was not our goal. That was literally the goal on the first day, was regime change. And he's saying he's going to take him back to the Stone Age and simultaneously saying that they're having discussions. Like, make this make any sense. Just make this make any sense. So, do you guys get a strange vibe when you see him? Do you get... Does something feel off to you? I'm just curious.
Regime change, but regime change has occurred because of all of their original leaders' death. They're all dead. The new group is less radical and much more reasonable. Yet if during this period of time
Also
no deal is made, we have our eyes on key targets. If there is no deal, we are going to hit each and every one of their electric generating plants very hard and probably simultaneously. We have not hit their oil, even though that's the easiest target of all, because it would not give them even a small chance of survival or rebuilding. But we could hit it, and it would be gone, and there's not a thing they could do about it. They have no anti-aircraft equipment. Their radar is 100% innocuous.
That's all I hear. All I hear is perpetual, endless lies. It's astonishing, really. This reality has no ability to, like, the facade of this phony reality, it can't be masked anymore. It has to express itself the way that it truly is. And again, the whole point of this video is that this could be a form of subliminal messaging to our population and Iran's, maybe both of us, maybe even the blue and white country too. I don't know. Before I go, guys, this is the 13th year of iPad Go 2, 13 years, 9 months. And with the 13 figures in the 13th year, we're rapidly approaching the 14th. So, yeah, I feel, it's like what, like, it's almost as if we're deliberately powerless to do anything about it. Like, what can we realistically do to stop all of this? If anyone has any ideas, I'm all ears. I really am.